We want to know if the M1 is good enough for us to do professional live stream. And not only that, which M1 should we purchase and how should we be looking at things, all right? I'm here to help you make that decision, help you understand a couple of things, okay? Without further ado, we're about to dive into it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Well, let's go. Nice, fellas. Well, let's get this started, okay? I know that if you're new to this channel, well, I want to encourage you to do one thing. Go ahead and smack the subscribe button at the bottom there. Subscribe, folks. And make sure you put a comment in the comment section below if you have any questions, any concern, or you're just looking for help, or you're just wondering. Well, I am welcoming you here. My name is JP Hightek, coming to you with Reveal TV Network. I am a brand expert, cinematographer, and software developer, and I've been in YouTube for over 12 years, doing broadcasts, live broadcasts about 12 years, and professionally about 7 years. And when I'm saying professionally, you're about to take a look at what I'm talking about here. As you can see, I have a third camera right here showing my setup. This is what I'm calling professional broadcast. Couple of things are in this studio that we're about to talk about. Why I call this professional, because there's different levels of live stream going from level 1, 2, 3, and 4. And professional live stream is about the level you're at. And I am at level 4 currently. So when we're talking about the Mac M1, well, not everything will be suitable for your needs. So the first question you need to ask yourself is, what am I needing the M1 for? Okay, it is great. A lot of videos on YouTube all over the place, just showing love and telling people how great of a device it is. Very true. The M1 Apple Silicon transformed the way we have been using our Macs. All right, the Intel based versus the Apple Silicon M1 chip is just phenomenal. Okay, currently I am right here, okay, using my M1 Mac Mini to do this live stream, okay? And it is not having any hiccup. However, I have the 16 gigabyte version. So, as we all know, all right, statistics tell us that today, people spend more than 11 hours a day on social media. When I say social media, streaming, watching videos, and things like that. This is amazing, okay? The way we're living our lives has completely transformed in regards to, post COVID-19. Most people are working from home. Most jobs are looking for a way to get online, to broadcast in a professional way, not just putting your phone or anything right in front of your face and be talking. No, you want to be able to do things like this, Sorry about that. The music was still playing. But you want to be able to do things like this where you're showing this type of graphics professionally. And if you're wondering, this is the software that I'm using. That is called Ecamm Live. I'm using on my Mac. Of course, the M1 is a Mac-based product, okay? Go ahead and get 15-day free trial by using that URL right there that you see on the screen if you want to go ahead and check it out. And for those of you that are loving the music that I'm playing, well, let me let you know I am using Epidemic Sound. You can go ahead and get 15 days. Nope, actually now has gone up to 30-day free trial. Go to that URL on the screen right there and you will love it, okay? So that is, what you want to try to do, those type of things you want to accomplish. But I push button like so easy by pressing that. Well, how is the M1 handling that? First thing you need to understand, whenever we're talking about the use of a computer, you want to think about what you will be doing in the future, okay? The M1 Mini, the mini computers, is an entry level. However, because of the new interface Apple developed, it is very awesome at the way you use it. For example, I have a beefed, I do have a beefed Intel-based Mac right here. And this Mac right here is not anywhere close to how powerful the Mac Mini is right now. And the Mac Mini I'm using is beating my beefed up iMac, Intel-based iMac, completely out of the water. And that is the thing. Now, whenever you're purchasing a computer, I always tell people you want to think about future-proofing your investment, okay? What will you be doing in the future? Don't just think about what I'm going to be doing today. Okay, today you maybe just want to be doing basic things, just one specific camera connected to your computer, and not a lot of intensive work. Well, that's all fine. However, professionals will tell you you got to think about the processing power. This M1 is more GPU intensive versus CPU. For those of you who do not know, GPU is a graphic, processing unit, and CPU is central processing unit. Okay, the M1 is more focused on your graphics power. Okay, so when we're talking about live stream, you got to know that your live stream, a professional live stream, will be not just CPU intensive, but very graphic intensive as well. All right, your GPU will be pulled a lot, which is what M1 really has managed to do here, and it makes our life easier when it comes down to those things. However, certain applications require certain amount of CPU usage. Okay, for example, on this same computer that I'm using right now, I have several applications running. Okay, several applications running. But I am not having any hiccups in my live stream. I'm not having any problems whatsoever. All right. For example, if you're a content creator and you want to be using applications like Photoshop, okay, Photoshop themselves will tell you that they're recommending everyone to have at least 8 GB of RAM available. So if you were to go and purchase the entry-level M1 Mac Mini, which is maxed at 8 GB, first of all, you know that you cannot manually upgrade the RAM, so you're stuck at 8 GB. And you're using something like Photoshop, well, in the future, you might end up running into some trouble, all right, some problems and issues there. You may or may not. However, you're running the risk to have problems there, which is why you want to think about those things. If you're going to use something like your Final Cut Pro to edit some things, well, it's also going to ask a minimum of 5 GB RAM there. And if you're going to use a live streaming software like OBS or Wirecast or Ecamm Live that I'm using right now to broadcast your live stream, you will be using some RAM there, and that is without all the other things that you want to do if you want to run a professional one. So if you just start there and you start adding some things to it in the future, you might run into trouble. Okay, also you want to think about, okay, I'm doing this now, however, what will happen if I really wanted to take my M1 Mac Mini and use that as a dedicated machine like I'm doing right now? Well, you can do that with no problem. All right. So you want to think about those things. When it comes down to live streaming, it is very, very demanding. Okay. It's not just you on your computer doing your editing, but you're live and you want to have a smooth production. You want to have less hiccup. Okay. That's why having that extra memory, extra RAM available in order to help smooth everything over whenever you're broadcasting is very, very key. Okay. Welcome, guys. I see right there, Robert Lewis. Hey, Robert, how you doing? I'm happy to be back as well. Appreciate you joining the live stream. If you have a question, folks, go ahead and put it in the comment section below. I'll be checking those out. Or if you're watching this as a replay, you didn't catch me during my live stream, that's fine as well. You can still post in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to check it out and answer your questions later. Okay, nothing to worry about. So I keep saying professional live stream. What exactly am I talking about? Well, as you can see right here in this studio, I have quite a few things going on, okay? This is behind the scenes, and a couple of things you will notice here is, one, I have, the camera that you're watching this behind the scene on is right there, okay? And also in front of me right here, you have another camera. Okay, and not only have another camera right here, you have the camera that I'm speaking to you on right here, right there. So I have 3 cameras set, all connected to the M1 Mac Mini, okay, the 16 GB RAM, and I'm not having any hiccups at all. Not only that, I have my XLR microphone connected to the M Audio, and here on my decks right here, I have my M1 Mac Mini on my decks, which is handling all this at the same time. Also, I have my iPad on my desk right there that is handling it, as well as my Stream Deck, Elgato Stream Deck right here that is allowing me to press a button and make things easy just like that, so that I have no problem, which is called the level 4 live streaming setup. All this is running without any hiccup, which is why it's so important, and it's mind-blowing that the M1 Mac Mini 16 gig option is able to handle this without any problems. But at the same time, though, you got to think about all this running at the same time is being powered by Ecamm. And Ecamm is fantastic because it's allowing me to handle all this at the same time, this broadcast production. And when we're talking about professional live stream, these are the things you want to think about. And these are the amount of gear you will end up having in order for you to really handle your live stream like a pro, and really make the transitions and everything you're trying to do seamless. So you want to think about that whenever you purchase your computer. At the same time, I will tell you one thing, that if you can afford it, if you can truly afford it, you want to have a dedicated machine just for your live streams, okay? A machine that you're not gonna be doing daily activities on, like browsing the web and downloading too many things onto it. You don't wanna do that. I personally have a dedicated machine here. As you can see, this screen that you see in front of me, this screen, right, is all dedicated for this live stream. As you can see, everything you see on the screen right here is my eMac, all right? And everything I'm seeing, your comments and all that happening in real time right here. And I have everything coordinated so that I do not have any problems whenever I'm doing my live stream. And what's fantastic about the M1 Mac Mini is that it's handling all this like a champ. Not only that, let me show you more things here that you will love. This is my activity monitor, okay? Now, in my activity monitor, you can see right here that I have a whole lot of applications running at the same time on this M1 Mac Mini. As you can see, the first is the Ecamm. I have my NDI. I have Final Cut Pro running right now. I have Adobe Photoshop running at the same time. I have Ecamm. I have Safari. I have my web browsers. I have, the Adobe, Creative Cloud running right there. All these applications that I'm showing you, I have iTunes open. All these are open in the background. I have Chrome open as well. For those of you who do know, whenever you're using Google Chrome, depending on how many pages you have open in that same browser, is gonna suck up a lot of RAM power, okay? Regardless of all that, I even have my notes open. Look at that. So much going on in the background of my computer, but everything is running smoothly on this computer. This is why I am in love with the Mac M1 Mini when it comes down to live stream. It will allow you to run so much going on the same computer, and you're not gonna have any hiccup. Look at that. I am still scrolling to show you how much is going on in the background. And my computer, my Mac Mini right now, it's not even hot. I'm touching it right now, and I can tell you it's not even hot. It's not even making any noise. Listen. It's barely making any noise. Like, literally, it's so silent that sometimes I even wonder if this thing is on. Mind blowing, folks. Mind blowing what is going on here. And that is fantastic. So if you're thinking about purchasing the Mac M1 Mini, well, I will tell you that based on experience, all right, I've seen, take it from a cinematographer, somebody that is used to editing raw footage, both video and audio, all right, on his machine, and somebody that's coming from having 3 other beefed up Intel base Macs to this. And I'm telling you that the 16 gig is my recommendation. Why? Because everything will be running without any issues. And I personally know other content creators that went ahead and purchased the entry level 8 gigabyte. Even though it's great, they started using it and ended up having issues with it. They had to upgrade later and purchase a 16 gig. So if you cannot afford it, I'm gonna highly encourage you to not cut corners, to not rush into it. Go ahead and get the 16 gig now if you need it to purchase it now. Now, of course, if you want to purchase, for example, another more improved in the future. Apple is going to release the M1X version. So if you're able to wait, then obviously I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and wait. Like I would say, wait until you cannot wait any longer to purchase or upgrade your equipment. If you cannot wait any longer, go ahead and purchase it. But because we cannot manually upgrade the RAM inside the M1 Mac Mini, then get as much max it out as possible. Now, when it comes down to your hard drive space, I am personally having all this connected to, I have 3 hard drives. So I actually have one 10 terabyte external hard drive connected to this. I have another 5 terabyte connected to this, and I have another 3 terabyte connected to this, okay? That is what I'm doing here, and I am editing most of my things straight from my external hard drive, saving all my footages and everything outside externally. Why am I doing that? So that I can lift the weight off of the GPU and CPU and allow the internals to take their place, the applications to run smoothly without any problems. What usually happens, okay, whenever your computer, your hard drive doesn't have enough space or enough RAM, it's gonna throttle your hard drive. It's gonna slow it down in order to make way. So that's what happens whenever you purchase a computer and you don't have enough RAM in regards to all the things that you have running on your computer, and you're realizing that your computer is slowing down. That is happening simply because the computer needs to slow everything else that's happening down to make room for maybe a specific application that's requiring more processing power. So if you already pre-calculated that and you have more than what you need, then you won't have to worry about having your computer slow down on you, or even having your computer freeze during the live stream. Again, when you're doing a live stream, you want to make sure that you think about every single aspect. I personally do remote production for other companies, so it is very important for me to make sure that whenever I'm producing this content, that my clients or the people that I'm remote producing for are not going to have any issues depending on what I'm using. That is also something you want to think about. Very, very important. So the power of your computer matters, okay? I see Jacob right there asking a question. Jacob saying, do you have the 16 gigabyte version? Yes, Jacob, I do have the 16 gig version. As a matter of fact, what I can do here is I'm gonna go ahead and put my computer in demo mode, okay? So that I can show you exactly my configurations here. And here you're able to see my desktop, okay? This is Ecamm. All right, all this you see right now is Ecamm that's powering this thing. And I am about to show you, if I go to about my Mac right here, for those of you who are curious, here it is, okay? This is what I have. As you can see, I am running Big Sur, the Mac Mini 2020, 16 gig RAM, okay, right there. And this is, working flawlessly. I have that connected to my 4K visual monitor right now. And in regards of storage, as you can see, I have my storage connected right here. My 8 terabyte, my 1 terabyte, my 5 terabyte right there. And all this is working flawlessly in regards to the hard drive, and I am not having any hiccups. I am not having any problems. These are the things that you want to think about whenever it comes down to, doing your professional live streams, okay? You may think that you just needed one camera to start. And then as you keep going, you realize that, you want to increase the quality of your production. Then you're going to end up wanting to purchase a second camera, or you might end up having a client that likes your production. And if you want to remote produce in conjunction with a client, they're going to ask you for these type of things. And if the client doesn't have any hardware and they're relying on you to do so, then you will be in a jam. You will be thinking of upgrading. So those are the things you want to think about. So if you future proof your purchase, then you will not have to worry about that. And also, in a future video, I will be explaining why I have all this set up here like this, why I have so many screens, why I have so many cameras, what dock am I using in conjunction to my M1 here, and how am I running everything here in order to have the best experience, right? Very important to know what cable to buy, how to choose, what camera to buy, what lens to buy, and all those type of things. Somebody's calling me live. Somebody's calling me on my live stream. Those are the type of things that happen whenever you're broadcasting. But yeah, you want to think about all those things, and I will break it down. My microphone that I'm using, my audio interface that I'm using here. All those things are important. Okay, when it comes up to you doing your live stream. So I will be breaking this down in a future video. And if you want to watch videos like this, well, go ahead and put it in the comment section below, like this video and like it for more videos like this in the future. I will take the time to, broadcast and show all this live and break it down for you so that you will make the best decision. So you will not waste money when it comes up to purchasing the correct hardware, okay? Or the correct light that you need to have in your studio, understanding that certain light will flicker depending on how you set it up, okay? Not every light is a video dedicated light. You have photography lighting, you have video dedicated lighting, and you have the color temperatures as well. And you need to understand all those type of things in order for your broadcast to be top notch, in order for it to be high quality, okay? So hopefully you're appreciating that. Let me see if I have any other comment right here. I see Jacob asking as well, have you had any issues with your Mac? No, I have not had any issues with my Mac whatsoever, Jacob. It has been working for me flawlessly. I mean, flawlessly. And this person is still calling me. Okay, guys, so haven't had any issues whatsoever with it. I have been having a great experience, to be honest with you guys. Fantastic experience, not even a hiccup. Only once, sometimes in connection to one of my cameras, it will not display. But as long as I disconnect and reconnect it, it displays with no problem. So that will be it for today's video. If you appreciate this, go ahead and smack the like button on the bottom there. Put a comment if you have any questions. I'll check it out later. And next time I'll be back again for another video just like this in order to help you improve your setup. So if you're a business, an individual, a church, a ministry, and you're trying to upgrade your setup, well, that's why I'm here for. I am here to help anybody increase their quality, their brand, and on top of all that, right, I am here to make sure that you have the best experience possible whenever you're doing this type of things, coming from a cinematographer background, software developer, and of course, a YouTuber. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy you having and coming on my live stream. Share this video if you appreciate it. And you take care. Like I always say, shalom. Bye-bye, guys.